Hello folks. So it's time for another edition of what the heck am I doing this week? Today we are going to do the Captain Marvel zip bag. Captain Marvel zip bag is available on the STFA website. It comes in a 5x7 or a 5x7, 6x10, 7x11, and 8x12 multi-size pack. And because I had all kinds of blues and reds and golds, I decided to play around a little bit. So today we are going to be doing the 8x12, the big one. I try to do the 5x7 because that's the size most of you guys have. But since I was playing around and doing some weird stuff, I did the 5x7 first so that I did not waste material. What you're gonna need is obviously an embroidery machine, and the pattern from STFA. You can find it online, stringtheoryfabricart.com. So we're gonna start with some medium weight cutaway. We're gonna hoop it up in our hoop. We'll also need a zipper. Make sure that it's a nylon tooth zipper, and you probably want it, at least 12 inches, probably closer to 14. You're also going to need a piece of felt or olefin, because remember my bags are partially lined to hide all of the embroidery on the inside. 2 pieces of gross grain ribbon cut to about 3 inches. Then you will need 2 D-rings, or 1 D-ring and 1 piece of gross grain, depending if you want a side hook or you want the crossbody bag top hooks. Either one works fine. Blah, blah, blah. And then, of course, you will have to go find which vinyl you want to use. I'm feeling in a pimp-tastic mood, so I'm going to use Mirror Glitter Vinyl from Mickery World and Gold Metallic. Woo! All kinds of fun. So, two other things you're going to need. Tape, because you know I loves my tape, and a little bit of batting. I know it's really hard to see in video and or pictures, but I've kind of done a 3D effect on my star. And the way we're going to get that is we're going to use some batting between the gold layer and the blue layer to pop up that star and give you a little bit more texture. Let's see. So the first thing we're going to do is get rid of all of this mess. We are going to hoop our cutaway. We're going to throw it into the machine, and we are going to run color stop 1. Back shortly. I told you we'd be back shortly. I hope you didn't run off to the bathroom. Well, I've just discovered one problem with doing the big old bag for the video, is that I don't fit in the frame. Ah! All right, so you guys are just gonna have to play along. So we're gonna grab 1 D-ring, and because I'm making this one crossbody, 1 D-ring and 1 piece of 3-inch gross grain. You need 2 little pieces of tape for the first one. We push our ribbon through, bada bing, bada boom. Okay, you want about a 1/4 inch. That's way more than a 1/4 inch. All right. Well, that's way more than a 1/4 inch too, huh? Arrgh. See, and you thought I knew what I was doing. Suckers. I'd say I'll fix this in post and edit out all of my fumbling, but you and I both know I won't. So you get to bask in the glory of, oh look, she doesn't know what she's doing either. Okay, so we're gonna put a little piece of tape here, and then because I don't like metal bits flopping around on my machine, we're gonna put a little tape here and tape the D-ring to my hoop. We're gonna come down here and hopefully this one will go smoother and faster. If not, you get to spend 2 minutes watching me go, but. There we go. Ha ha. Hee hee. Ho ho. Okay, now we're going to throw this bad boy back into the machine, and we are going to run color stop 2, which will tack these guys down nice and tight, and then it'll do our die line for zipper placement, vinyl placement, yada yada, hooba hooba. Back in a second. It is time to lay down our zipper. Now, when doing your zipper, you've got this 1-inch line right here that you want to align the ribbons on your zipper so that it's covering the top and bottom. Yeah, this is not good. That's not good. But you also want to make sure that your metal bits, like your zipper head and your metal zipper stop, are way out of your stitch path. For this particular zipper, that is not going to be a problem because I goofed. I ran out of zippers. So I had to run and get an emergency zipper, and the only cobalt blue emergency zipper left was 22 inches. So you may be working with a significantly smaller zipper. You want to make sure that your metal bits and pieces are way off the stitch path. And then you want to align your zipper ribbon so that you are right between that 1 inch die line. And you tape that bad boy down. Some people are super paranoid about the ribbon moving and they'll run a piece of tape here and a piece of tape there. That's fine. I've gone and bought myself some stock in 3M. So use as much tape as you want. You can throw it in and we're going to run the tack down stitch for your zipper. Okie dokie, so we have tacked down that bad old zipper, and it is time for us to add the first pieces of vinyl. So for the top, you are going to need approximately 11.5 by 2 3/4. When you lay this bad boy down, you want to make sure that you have a nice, flat, straight edge right along the zipper. And you are going to just lightly secure it on both ends with a small piece of, that's right class, tape. And then we're going to come down here, and your bottom piece is going to be approximately 11.5 by 5.5. And again, you want a beautiful, nice, perfect straight edge right along your zipper. And then you're just going to take a little bit of tape to keep it from slip sliding away. And now we are going to run color stop 4, which will tack down our zipper. And I'm going to go ahead and run color stop 5, which is going to give us some die lines for the goal placement, I believe. Yep. Oh, actually, it's going to give us the die line for our batting because we want that heart to be, or the star to be, all puffy. Back in a second. Okay, so as you can see, we have tacked down our vinyl up here, right along the zipper line. And it's going to be a little hard to see because I used blue thread, but we've got a die line of the star in the middle. So what we're going to do is we are going to take a little piece of batting, just enough to cover your star. We're going to secure it a little bit, left and right. We're going to throw this back in, and it's going to run a tack down stitch, and then we will applique cut around our star. Back in a second. So we have run our tack down for our batting, and we are going to applique cut around this bad boy. You'll notice that the tack down for this star is inset by about 1/8 of an inch from the die line for the gold. That's so that even if you cannot applique cut very well, you're not going to have any fuzzies sticking out from underneath your star. And just a snip, 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 snip. Oops, I'm off camera. This is one of those where I get to move my body rather than the hoop, so that the hoop always stays where you can see it. Well, I'm not going to move my body every single time because to do that cut would require me bending over backwards and cutting upside down, so hope you don't get vertigo by how much I'm moving everything around on you. All right, so there, our puffy star is all applique cut. And we have a die line for our gold. I am gonna use metallic because I feel like just pimping this up. So I've cut mine a little bit big. Actually, I didn't even bother to cut this. This is what was left on the end of the roll. Somebody you know and love has to go order herself some more gold metallic vinyl. But it's gonna be about 11.5 by 5.5. This piece is actually about 12 by 6, but I didn't feel like trimming it all the way down since it's gonna be an unusable scrappy left over. We're just gonna lightly tape it left and right. We're gonna throw this bad boy in there. It's going to outline our star and do our chevrons. And then it's gonna give us our die lines for the red epaulets at the top. Back in, ooh, yikes. Back in a second. And there we go. So we are going to do two things right now. First, we are going to applique cut only our gold vinyl. And you'll notice I put the paddle end of the duckbill on top and the stabby underneath. You want to get right up against that stitch line without actually cutting the stitch line. There is a bit of an angle that you put these at so that you get a nice gentle glide, especially if they're seriously sharp. And mine are seriously sharp. But getting that angle requires practice. Actually, all of this, guys, really, honestly, practice makes perfect, just like when you were in school. The more you practice your instrument, the more perfect you got at it. But I just realized that could be like this horrible innuendo. And I totally didn't mean it that way, but I'm sure there's some of you that are still practicing on your instrument. So we're just gonna slide. I need to get out more. We're just gonna slide right along that stitch line, getting as close as we possibly can without snipping the stitches. Halfway done. Yay. This has got to be fascinating television, guys. Watching me cut. That's just bizarre. Get a hobby. Oh, wait a minute. This is your hobby. I always feel like if I'm not talking, if I'm not saying something important, then I'm wasting your time, except that right this second I have nothing. I need to go online and get a whole bunch of like juvenile jokes, like knock jokes, little kitty jokes, something, just to fill the dead air. Okay, so we're applique trimmed here. Now we are going to take 2 pieces of red glitter vinyl that measure 4 inches wide by 2 3/4 inches high. And we're gonna do the epaulets, the shoulder areas. And we're gonna line these up. We wanna make sure that we cover our die line top and bottom because we will have to applique trim these a little bit, but we don't wanna come so far over that we don't cover this line right here, okay? So grab me a little piece of tape. Grab me a little piece of tape. Oh. I moved it. Let's put the tape on first. See how that works for us. Maybe, maybe baby. There you go. All right, then we're gonna come over here and we're gonna do the same thing, except I'm gonna put my tape on first so that I'm not, this mirror glitter vinyl, I love it. It's super awesome. It sticks when you don't want it to, and it slides when you don't want it to. So I don't even know. Why do I even? Okay, so we've got those taped down. We're gonna throw them in the machine and it's going to do a tack down stitch. We'll have to do a little bit of an applique cut on them before we do our satins. Back in a second. Okay, so you'll see that on that step right there, and that was step 9. On step 9, we tacked down our red vinyl that we're using for epaulets. the shoulder pieces on her uniform. They're just 2 rectangles at the top of our bag. Now we get to trim along the bottom and inside so that when we do a satin stitch, it covers up our jaggy raw edges. We want to make this bag look as completed and professional as possible, because we can. Boom, done. And then we'll come in from this angle. And then we'll come in from this angle. Woo! Yay! Boom, done. All right, so now I'm going to run color stop 10, which is going to do a red satin outline here and here. It's also going to put 2 red satin lines right here. Then I will run color stop 11, which is going to do some detail work inside the middle of our star and satin stitch the outside of our star. I will be back in just a minute. Okie dokie. So we have now completed all of the front stitching, and you'll see we've got this nice 3D effect on our star. Our epaulets are satin stitched, and so is our star. Oops, I have got a tail. No, not a tail. Is it prehensile? Okay, so now, remember, I'm special, and so are my bags. We are going to take a piece of 11.5 by 5.5 inch felt. No, we're not. We're going to take a full 8 by 12 because I'm feeling lazy today. If you're only using a 5.5 by 11.5, then you want to line up your felt with this top zipper stitch, and you want to make sure that the left and right sides are covered, and then you just lightly tape it down. I am in a rush. I am running late today, so rather than trim all this stuff down, I am just going to waste felt. I know, I'm horrible, and apparently I'm going to waste tape too. I am going to tape down the left, and I am going to tape down the right. And I'm going to throw this bad boy back in the machine and get this tacked down so we can finish off our bag. Okie dokie. So we have tacked down our felt. We're going to flip this bad boy over, remove our tape. Oops. I see what happens when you rush. See, I have now stitched my tape into the bag. Fantastic. I am awesome. Okay. We are going to grab our duckbills and we are going to trim all the way around this line. The only one that you have to be concerned about making sure it's all nice and neat and pretty is this top one right there. Haha. The rest of it can be all jaggy and janky and scary looking because once the bag is done, we're going to be trimming down and it's going to be on the inside. So now I could use my teacher voice and go, even though nobody's going to see it, this is an excellent time to practice your cutting skills. The other thing is you don't have to use felt. You can use Ollie Fun. You can use fabric, but if you use fabric, I would use iron-on interfacing, especially around the edges, so that the inside of your bag doesn't fray. Now, next step is, again, my bags are special. We're going to open our zipper to about 2 finger places from the end of the stop, and we are going to tape it so that it is open. And the reason we're going to do that is because we are going to sew some zipper stops, and once that's done, we're going to trim our zipper tails and tuck them under for a neater finish. So I have put a little piece of tape so that when the head goes across, it doesn't catch our vinyl at all. And our zipper head is taped out of the way. Back in a minute. So we have tacked down our zippers for a zipper stop. The other thing that I've thrown in now, starting with, I think the blank bag series, is cutting lines for folding down our D-rings so they're nice and even. So now we're gonna do this little trick. This is where you need crappy scissors, okay? Don't use your good scissors because we're about to cut some teeth out of our bag. First, you trim the ribbon, okay? And you only wanna cut out the teeth. Okay, on this side, you'll have to do it twice because the zipper is unzipped. There we go. And then we are gonna grab our seam ripper. I'm gonna put that back down. We're gonna lift our tails and we are gonna put a little itty bitty rip in the stabilizer, only as long, 1 inch as the tails. And then, I don't know, can you see me doing this? Let me get up in here. Then we're gonna poke our tails through the hole, okay? Now, we're gonna flip it around and we are going to pull back our tape. There you go. We're gonna get rid of this piece of tape because we really don't need it anymore. We're gonna take our crappy scissors. We don't wanna use our good scissors. We're gonna trim on the top and bottom of the zipper, leaving us some ribbon. We're gonna pull those teeth up and we're gonna hack until it comes loose. We're gonna lift our tails, lift and separate, haha. Come back underneath with our seam ripper, put about a 1 inch, whoa, what am I grabbing? 1 inch slash, and then we're gonna tuck our tails into that hole. Woohoo! Flip it over. We are going to be ladylike and cross our tails. We're gonna put a little piece of tape here. I'm gonna flip it over. We're gonna cross our tails. Woohoo. Don't worry, all of that extra shenaniganry will get cut off here in a minute, okay? When you cross your tails, when you fold them back over, don't put a lot of tension and pull it away because you'll pull it out of alignment. Now, as long as we've got this bad boy off the machine, we're gonna trim right here for our D-rings to fold over. So we're gonna get in here with a pair of scissors and we're gonna cut down to that stitch line. Then we're gonna cut across the top of that stitch line. We're just making a little bit of a indentation, so that we can fold our gross grain ribbon and our D-ring over. Don't worry, that stitch line will be totally hidden once we get the back on and turn it inside out. Let's do that again. Let's see if we can't get a better angle. Woohoo! Pull our tape off, get our fingers up underneath there, grab our nice sharp scissors and snip. Don't cut your gross grain ribbon. Snip and snip. Pull the bits away. Make sure everything's nice and flat. Tape down our D-ring. This is also, so you don't forget, a good point to put a small rip in your zipper opening so that when we're all done, you can cut the cutaway away and actually get your hand in there to flip your bag. Okay, so now we're gonna put it back on the machine and we are going to bean stitch these two. Now, you may wonder, okay, well, it bean stitches, why does it come all the way down here? That is to move your needle head out of the way so it doesn't catch the zipper head. So it goes bean, little stitch here, and bean, and then we'll be back to put our back on. Just a minute. And see what we did there? We tacked that all nice and down. So I'm gonna pull up this piece of tape carefully so that I get all of it, even though it's been stitched. There we go. And I'm gonna pull up this piece of tape. I'm gonna leave this one, and this one so that they hold our hardware still and out of the way while we do our back attachment. I'm also going to take this opportunity to see what kind of little hairs and tails and shenaniganry we've got poking up and causing me to spaz out a little bit because it doesn't look all neat. Okay, now I'm going to flip this bad boy over. I am going to untape my tail and I am going to trim right close to the stitch line without actually cutting the stitch line. There we go. Boom, and done. Now we're going to take our back. I am using just a plain black back for this one. You can use the glitter vinyl, you can use some matte vinyl, you can use whatever kind of vinyl you want. The back measures 12 by 8, and I am going to make sure that when I line this bad boy up, that I am covering the top of the stitch line, okay? That I'm covering the left stitch line, the right stitch line, and this bottom stitch line down here. So boom, everything looks all pretty well lined up. Don't think I'm gonna have any problems. Okay, ooh, except that I just moved everything out of place. Good job, me. I am awesome. Get it all lined up and perfect, and then sheesh. All right, am I lined up? I am lined up. Am I lined up? I am lined up. Okay, now we're gonna take a little piece of tape. Oh my gosh, more tape? Yes, more tape. And I am going to secure it on this side and probably wind up stitching that tape in there because I am rushing and not doing a very good job. And there. Throw it in the machine and we will do our tack down stitch, or not tack down stitch, our back attachment stitch. And there we are, guys. We are all done. So the first thing that I'm going to do is I'm going to flip this over. Remember where we have this little slit cut? I am going to cut the cutaway off my zipper. This is real careful, guys, real careful. Do not actually cut any part of your zipper. This is where it pays to go slow and methodical. Okay, this is not where you already done the entire bag. All that's left is to trim and turn. Do you really want to slice right through your zipper in this last little bit? So be real careful what you're doing. Pay attention. But there we go. We've trimmed it away. Now we're going to pop it out of the hoop. Boom! I love that part. That's my favorite part. And because I hate cutting, and I started out as a quilter, we are going to use an Omni Grid and a roto cutter. And we're going to come back off about 1/8 of an inch from the seam line. And we are going to cut. And then we are going to turn. And we're going to come about 1/8 of an inch. And we are going to cut. And we are going to turn. You getting a feel for this? There's not going to be any surprises from here on out. Okay, one more cut with the ruler and the roto cutter. Then we're going to take some super sharp scissors and we are going to round out our corners so that when we turn this bad boy, inside out, we don't have all of this extra vinyl and stabilizer causing our corners to pooch. No pooching zone. There we go. All right. Now I'm going to reach my hand inside and I am going to pull this little piece of tape off. Now when I turn bags, I like to put a finger in a corner and then my thumb, and I like to roll that corner and stick it through, okay? We're going to come over here and we're going to do the same thing. Stick a finger in. Well, that didn't work out very well, did it? Huh. Yeah, there we go. And pokey, pokey, pokey. Okay. Now we're going to come up here and we're going to do the same. Thumb in. Thumb in. Rotate. Pokey, pokey, pokey. And one more. Come here. There you go. Good girl. Pokey, pokey, pokey. And pokey out. Boom. There we go. Now, if it didn't pokey all the way out for you, you want something rounded but stiff. If you don't have a handy dandy seam ripper like mine. You can use the rounded end of a crochet hook. You can use the rounded end of a chopstick. You can use just your finger, but after a while my fingers start to hurt, so. All right, now we're going to pull the tape off of our D-rings. Boom, and boom. And make sure that we've got all of our little pieces of tape off. We're gonna close up our zipper. Woo! Roll our seams, okay? And you know, guys, that's nice. It's pretty. Got a little 3D effect there, but it just feels like it's missing something. It's missing, what is it missing? It's missing, it's missing a mother florkin dangle. That's right, ladies and gentlemen, this bag comes with your very own mother florkin dangle. And if you don't know what a mother florkin dangle is, you gotta go see the movie or read the comic books. Oh, look, there we go. Our Captain America, or Captain Marvel. Captain Marvel 8x12 is in the hoop zip bag with the mother florkin dangle. All right, if this tutorial helped you, let me know. If I annoyed you, ha ha. You can get all of your mother florkin designs over at stringtheoryfabricart.com. If you're on Facebook, join us on the fan group. We are a mother florkin group of insane people, and we have really bad language. See you next time, and I have no idea what I'll be making, but enjoy.